everyone, welcome to Dark Fae Tarot. You are joining me on the end of what was a chilly but at least bright autumnal, nearly winter day in Brussels. Welcome to new subscribers, welcome back to those who already know me. So as we creep closer towards winter solstice, I am doing lots of tags I think now and really enjoying it. So the latest tag that I saw is Tarot 5Ws from Brian Cormac Carr. I'm so sorry, Brian, if I've butchered your name, but I really like the tag. I like the questions asked. I did think it was a bit tricky. I was like, oh my God, do I remember any of this? And then I realized, you know what, I'm just gonna play it by ear and share some of my answers to these prompts, and well, let's see what I have. And if you're new to my channel, just know that I do deck reviews, I do walkthroughs. I need to do a bit of a call for action. If you haven't subscribed already, please do hit the subscribe button and press like if you like this video. Any kind of love you can give, it really helps with the algorithm, so thank you so much. But without further ado, let me get into the prompts. So the very first prompt is who? Who first turns you onto tarot? Who's your favorite tarot author? Who's your favorite deck creator? Who's your favorite tarot character, etc. So as many of you know, my very first deck was the Paulina Tarot. Actually, there was the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith, which is what I learnt on, and then the Classic Rider-Waite-Smith. But those two, I kind of like just generally classify as, yes, I did learn on those decks. But the deck that really kind of like got my tarot thing going was the Paulina Tarot. Now, this tarot deck is now quite beaten up. It's still available. It's a US Games deck. I think it retails around $20 US, something like that. I love this deck. I've kind of like sat with this deck off and obviously read with it, read for others with it. Yeah, this was the deck that basically I cut my teeth on when it really came to going out there and doing tarot instead of kind of like just trying to learn it and by myself. This is the deck that got me bonding with tarot, got me getting into the characters. It's really reminiscent of some of the cards I think that were being sold in the shops in the UK many years ago when I was a kid. And I love, like, you know, imagery like this. It's imagery that I relate to. I love Fae, Fae decks, of course. You know, this is Dark Fae Tarot, and in a way, my channel name is inspired a little bit by this deck because it really does kind of like come into this theme of the woodlands, but you know, not everything is as nice and sweet and rosy as we'd like it to be. So Paulina Cassidy is kind of like very instrumental in my tarot journey. I love her decks. I have all of her tarots. I still don't have all of her oracles. I do know that one of her oracle decks, I think it's, can't remember, Oracle of the Fairies, is actually being redone, so I really look forward to that, and I need to get Pixiekins as well. So yeah, I love Paulina Faye's work, Paulina Cassidy as well, as she's known. But I do also want to talk about another deck by the same creator because it's very instrumental in my who, and I want to share here the deck called Spiritsong Tarot. Now, the reason why I want to share this deck, I only started to really look at this deck a couple of years ago, as in using it myself. But and this is also, sorry, US Games, before I forget, by Paulina Cassidy or Paulina Faye. But the reason why I want to talk about this deck is because there used to be a channel. Look at those backs, aren't they gorgeous? There used to be a channel, and she still exists, kind of. It's Temperate Star. Does anybody remember Temperate Star? Wonderful tarot reader. She did tarot readings for every astrological sign. So they were like for the month ahead. And she did that for a few years, built up a huge following. And then sadly, one day we didn't see any more readings from her. It was just very, and she used this deck. And it was really interesting because I didn't realize that this deck is by Paulina Cassidy, whose first deck I really loved, the Paulina Tarot. So it was quite weird, kind of like, I didn't realize till later, wait, hang on, it's the same creator as the deck that I love. But look at these beautiful drawings. And Temperate Star, I don't know what's happened. I don't know anyone who knows Temperate Star. But if you're out there, I hope you're well. I hope you're okay. You're sorely missed. But of course, you know, if you have another direction to go in, that's always understandable. But because it just very abruptly, the channel has kind of like just gone silent. There's no more videos. I just really hope she's okay. That's all I can say. And tarottubers, I mean, she did tarot readings basically. So I don't know how she's classified as a tarot tuber. She's a tarot reader on tarot, on the tarot channel. But you know, Temperate Star was just so amazing as a reader. She was really inspirational how she spoke about that months ahead reading, and it inspired me to be a better reader, inspired me to really like up my tarot game. And I just hope, you know, that she's well. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm sharing these cards in honor of her and the work that she did, bless her, a few years ago. So the next prompt is what? What do you most love about tarot? What's your currently most used deck? And or what's your favorite tarot tool or technique? I'm going to answer it as what do I most love about tarot? And what I love most is it's very it's versatile, but also the fact that the depiction of the keys are so versatile. So we have one system of 78 keys, yet so many different ways to portray those keys. And I just think that's amazing. So I'm going to show a couple of decks, you know, just to show you the variety. So I've got here the Tarot of Alchemical Magnum Opus by Robert M. Plass. This is the redux of the Tarot of the Alchemical, basically. I love this deck. I know a lot of people love this deck too, actually. The redux, actually. But anyway, I just want to show here how this really harks back to historical tarot because, you know, it is a Robert M. Plass deck and he's done it amazingly well. I just love it. I mean, just look at that. Priestess, so there we have the High Priest. I think this is a fantastic deck. Again, let me just do that so you can see all the cards well. Conjunction, here we have our lovers. It's a fantastic deck. I love it. But, you know, look at the imagery here. And this will really take you back to the Renaissance or before. It's really just got that feel, right, of 1400s, 1500s and so forth. And Robert M. Plass does that imagery very, very well, I think. So here we have this redux version, and I just want to show you some cards because it gives you a fair idea. And then, let's see if I can mix this up a bit. Oh, we've got more battens. It's very popular with the battens, isn't it, this deck? Let's put it here on Two of Cups because I love that. And then let me show you a very different deck because this is why I love tarot. So now we have 78 keys again. But the deck I'm about to show you is Tarot of the Abyss by Anna Turian. This is a US Games deck. And just again, let's look at these. Let me put this to the side for a second. Just again, 78 keys portrayed so differently. I mean, look at the line work here. Now we are in monochrome. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's a stunning deck. And yet it's the same meanings basically behind them. And I love that with tarot, that because the imagery changes, what we see, how we feel about that key can change tremendously, and yet it's still one system. I love that, and I think that makes tarot in itself so unique. So that is Tarot of the Abyss. And then finally, I just want to show another very, very different deck. So then you really get the idea of my point, because I just also want to show lots of decks. Why not? And the deck that I've brought out for this is, of course, the Starchild Tarot by Daniel Noel. So this is the indie version, borderless. So again, just, you know, when we look at this, I mean, look how different this is. Let's see if I can move this a little bit so I can do this properly. There we go. Again, let's see how different this is, right? I want to try and keep this in order, so let's just do it that way. But look, we have this very millennial vibe. That's what I always call it. This collage work, pinks and purples, very starseed, cosmic energy. Let's go through to some minors. Here's the Ace of Cups. And again, just done so well. Here's the Five of Cups. You know, let's go back a bit. Hold on for a second. So we've got different cups here. Here's the Five of Cups. Here's the Queen of Cups in Tarot of the Abyss. Let me show you this, right? And here we have, of course, the Two of Cups from the Alchemical. I mean, let's take a moment to pause how different these cup energies have been portrayed, yet they're all cups. And I just think that that, again, alludes to the fact that we have this water theme, but when you look at it here, it just has so many different meanings. Here it's very, very much down to the elemental. Here we have her, I don't know where, on a, it looks like some kind of a boat or something. And, you know, she's gazing into the cup, but this time the cup is open. And here, you know, we have this like cosmic, pippish energy. And of course, you know, only one of the cups has fallen over on this one. And for some reason here, I feel like there's a person here, even though there isn't, but I feel like there is. So you can see here just how different the water energy is conveyed. And yet, you know, we are still in the suit of cups when we look at all of these cards. Okay, so I think you get my point there. So the next question here, let me just move all of this out of the way. So after, wow, look at that card there. So the question after this is when? When did you first encounter tarot? When did you first start to take tarot seriously? When did you have a significant tarot experience? I can't look. So when I was a teenager, apparently I liked tarot. I don't recall this at all. And then I became obsessed with it. I don't recall any of that, but that's what somebody once said. I don't have that, I don't have that memory at all. So I don't even know what that's all about. But when did I take tarot seriously was when I really learned tarot when I was, which was 2014, 2015. I'm going to show the Enchanted Tarot when I talk about this, so you at least have something to look at. Now, I have taken tarot seriously from the beginning because I actually think it's a very interesting system. Oops, sorry, shifted that bit. But I think that really my journey has changed, of course, since the pandemic, since I came back to tarot. And this year, I mean, I've had lots of, I mean, the question is, you know, a significant experience even, and I actually have had a lot of significant experiences with tarot. I think that there's definitely a connection here for me. More cups. I seem to be in a cup place today. But some of the key moments I've had is, for example, I was buying a deck in an Oxfam shop several years ago. I can't remember. And I was buying it, and this woman spontaneously said, give me, you know, jokingly, you know, how about a reading? So I said, okay. And I pulled a few cards, and it was really strange because I was literally patching the cards, by the way, on a shelf, a bookshelf. Like we didn't have anything, we didn't have a table, but I said, yeah, why not? I'll pull a few cards. So I pulled something like 4 cards. I recall that. And I can't recall all of the cards, but I said to her, you need to come into, you are about to come into a significant amount of money, but there are issues that you need to sort out before you can receive the money. And there was the other things that I said, but I said, you know, I said there's some fear, there's some misgivings, but ultimately you will actually come into the money that you want, but you need to kind of like let go of a lot and be a bit more clear within yourself. And it was really strange because she turned and she says, yeah, I'm trying to sell my house basically. And she said, things need to be done before I can sell it. And it was just so strange. I was like, wow. But that's one thing. But then another significant moment has been this year for me. And I don't think I'm going to find it. So let me actually take out the deck that I've got here, which is the card that has struck me this year. So this year, my significant most moment has been, and now I have the Tarot Vintage in front of me, so bear with me. Look how beautiful these decks will look together. But let me see if I can find it. Oh, this is all in order. Interesting. But if it's all in order, then I can find it very quickly, actually. Yeah, here it is. Oh, no, maybe not. Here he is, sorry. Page of Swords. Now, this is for me let me put that there, a fundamental moment this year in my journey, because this is my stalker card this year. And I don't know what else to say other than this card this year has been a huge awakening. And it led me into really relearning a system that I thought I knew, not the RWS. Because in that system, what the page is about, or the princess, really has a very deep meaning to some of the things that I'm encountering right now in my life. And and they're a stalker card. And I pulled this card in February, this specific card from Tarot Vintage. And then the page has shown up another 5 or 6 times in the year. They just keep coming back. And it was at the last time it showed up in autumn where finally I read something and it clicked that I have some serious issues. Of course, I'm talking about family issues right now. And where the page sits in that whole system, it made a lot of sense. It just made a huge amount of sense when it came to family. And it was just like, okay, now I'm starting to see why this is here for me this year. So yeah, I think that tarot is always teaching me something, and I'm never going to be too old to learn from tarot. I hope not. I hope I'm always open to learning and discovering. Look how beautiful this deck is. This is the Enchanted Tarot. Does anybody have the new deck by the creators, Faber and sorry, who is it? Yeah, Amy Zerner and Monty Faber. If you do, I'd love to hear your experience. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called the Zerner Faber deck or something like that. I'd love to hear your experience. I love their oracle as well. I've got one of their oracles. I think it's called the Creativity Oracle. But again, just look how beautiful that is. Number 4, where did you do your first serious reading? Do you carry cards around you with? Yes, I've already spoken a little bit about that, but also I've done tarot readings in a bookshop. I've done tarot readings in a hotel, which was really weird. In the reception, not the reception, but the lobby area. And of course I was using my Paulina at the time. But yeah, I've done tarot readings in, I haven't done any in a fair yet. I'd like to, but really coffee shops, someone's home. I like to kind of like, when I do a lot of my readings, I like to just do video and send them the link because then people can digest it. But some people really want to sit down with the deck and they want me to explain the things to them. And it's like, okay, sure. And I can understand that. And I can understand that because, you know, this can feel very scary to people. This can feel very, you can feel like, you know, what's going to happen? Or do you see something really difficult or challenging? And I think people appreciate that face-to-face. So a lot of the times I'm actually asked, can you actually do a face-to-face reading? And they're happy to pay like a little bit extra if it's face-to-face because they want that experience. So I try to be open to that basically. So yeah. Why do you love tarot? Why do you continue to study tarot? I think one of the reasons why I personally love it, and let's see, let me get a deck to flick through as I talk about this because, oh, and I don't have a deck to flick through. So let me go and grab one. Let me just go and find something so we can look at that together as I flick through it. I think, let me grab this deck because I haven't shown this one recently. This is the Seawitch Tarot. This is by Willow White Raven presents Mademoiselle Delphine's Seawitch Tarot. Let me show you this deck. But the reason why I just thought I'd flick through a deck as I show it is that I think the beauty of tarot, and one of the reasons why I really like this deck is because there's quite a bit of feeling of, there's a pippishness, and then some of them are illustrated, and I like that actually. But one of the big things is that tarot has so much versatility, not just in terms of images and portrayals, but because of the fact that I can use it with oracle decks, which I absolutely love doing. But, you know, I see often people using it with charms, with runes, with Lenormand cards. They use it like pendulums. I have a friend who likes to do pendulum readings in tarot. I mean, just really, really interesting stuff that can be done with it. And that's why I love it, because tarot kind of like, I like it when systems like to work with other systems. Of course, it's great as an add-on to an astrology reading. I always say reading somebody's chart, sometimes I can read a whole chart and then I can see that like they kind of like get it, but when I use some cards to explain the meaning, and I will actually sometimes go and find a card just to explain that meaning, they love it. They really feel like, okay, now I kind of like understand what you're saying. And I really like tarot for that. It's visually a great, conductor of information. It's a great conduit, so not conductor. It's a great conduit for information. It's a great channel. It's visual. It allows us to see things in our own way. It's so subjective. And that's the joy of it, right? I don't want everything to be cookie cutter the same. I want us to be able to enjoy our decks. And one person can see this devil card in one way. And I mean, that's an interesting devil card. Look at that. You know, somebody could see this as kind of like taking a chance on what's there to offer, what's there on offer. But at the same time, so you say, well, she's hungry, you know, she's desperate, she has no choice. And then at the same time, somebody could be reading the outside of that card, right? With that face and them looking very fallen and all of the creatures around that. So, you know, again, and then when we lay out cards in a row, again, this deck sticks together a bit too much for me. When we lay out decks in a row, they can also give us such an interesting story. Like here we have the Seven of Swords and here we have the Star and the World card. So, you know, there's a lot here that we can just unpack in one go. And that's why I love tarot. Why do I love it? It's because it gives us depictions that is so subjective, and we can take away a lot with this. So, you know, some people can see this this reading as dark, like there's a Seven of Swords right in the middle, and somebody else can say, actually, that means that through stealth, there's a lot on offer. So yeah, I'm going to stop there and flick through to some other beautiful images in this deck, because this deck is gorgeous. It's just sticking a bit too much, but it is a gorgeous deck. And let me know what you think of this tag. I think it's a great tag if you're joining in, if you've got your own responses to the 5 Ws. Brian, thank you so much for your prompts. I really enjoyed them. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening wherever you are, and I will see you all soon. Take care now.